Hi, I'm Olivia Miller. I'm a personal injury attorney here at Chad Bar Law. We practice all kinds of personal injury in Florida. And today I'm going to be reviewing dash cam footage. Dash cams can be really helpful in a personal injury case. They could be really unhelpful in a personal injury case, depending on what it shows. But generally, it's great when we have dash cam footage. A member of our staff, the person who actually takes care of all of us, our office manager, was in an accident, and they had a dash cam, and it was very fortunate because the other driver who hit them took off. And the only way that they could determine who this guy was, because he left the scene, was to review the dash cam footage and then call the police. So it can be incredibly helpful unless it shows you doing something that you should have been doing when you were driving. Otherwise, then it's probably not as helpful as you want it to be. Okay, so we've got some snow, probably more likely to be, rain in Florida. Oh boy. Okay, so this is bad. The driver with the dash cam has the green light, and obviously he's going through the light. I don't think he's going particularly fast. And this guy comes out of nowhere from his right. There's no way that the guy coming across traffic had a green light. He obviously ran a red light at full speed and made this car spin, which is obviously something that was going to happen if you're dealing with snow. It could definitely happen in Florida because the roads are wet almost every day in Florida, and there could be really dangerous conditions. So this is the kind of thing that could definitely happen, and has probably happened to some of my clients, and we just don't have dash cam footage of it. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, it scared a whole flock of birds. It's not surprising. So, okay, granted, this is not the United States. This is a car accident that is happening in a country where the road layout is a little bit different. But I think what happened is that the car in front of the car with the dash cam actually tried to avoid maybe a pedestrian and went into oncoming traffic. Obviously, it's better to avoid a pedestrian and get into a car accident yourself. You're a lot more protected in a vehicle than a person on the side of the road. But either way, it's just really dangerous. I'm glad that the person with the dash cam was so far behind this accident, because if they had been traveling close to the person who was actually involved in the accident, they could have been a secondary crash in the accident, which has certainly happened before. I have a case right now where my client was following behind a car, and the person behind them crashed into them. My clients fortunately didn't crash into the car in front, but at that same time, the car in front of them crashed and caught on fire. So my client's car was in the middle of their crash with a semi and a fireball of the car that crashed in front of them. So crazy things happen on the roads. And this is another great example of crazy things that I think a pedestrian fell into the road here, which is wild. Could definitely happen when I drive. Okay. A lot of the time in Florida, there are those strips on the road that sort of make your car shake if you're going to go into the oncoming traffic or off onto the shoulder. Here, I don't see those, which is kind of unfortunate. But you know, the person came over, and the guy in the van, he didn't really have anywhere to go. There's nothing he could do. And the person with the dash cam was following at an absolutely appropriate distance, but just was collateral damage because this oncoming car was going so fast that this guy got into a wreck, which is exactly why you have got to have uninsured motorist coverage in the state of Florida. It is the #1 most important thing, because a lot of people drive without adequate insurance or without insurance at all, and UM is what is going to protect you in instances like this, where you are an innocent person that just happens to have a dash cam and gets spun around in a wreck. Okay, so this person is at a stop sign and just backs up into the car behind them, which is wild. You know, in cars nowadays, there are all kinds of safety protections that, you know, my car, for instance, if I'm backing up and there's something behind me, my seat will start shaking. So I'm surprised that this Ford SUV was able to even back up into this car. But, you know, it is never a good idea to just throw your car in reverse. If you think a truck is going to hit you, you either need to steer out of the way ahead of you to a place where you can see it, go onto the curb if you have to, or sit tight. That truck was going so slowly that a turn like this would not have been a catastrophic accident. And instead, this Ford SUV backed up and caused an even worse accident to a person who happens to have a dash cam. So obviously you can tell who's at fault here. I think the best lesson to be learned here is trust truck drivers, especially when they're going slow. Don't panic, don't throw your car in reverse, definitely don't slam on the gas to back up into the person behind you. Okay, I paused it right before. The guy is standing in the road. He's crossing into the turn lane. This is insane. First of all, this pedestrian should not be crossing here. I have quite a few pedestrian getting hit by car accident cases currently, and I have in the past. And I can say this, the clients whose cases I've taken were doing the right thing. This man is absolutely not doing the right thing. He is going into the road. There's not a crosswalk. He's in between two cars, which is super, super dangerous. Everyone knows you can't just walk out in between cars. There's no way he's gonna be able to see what's coming on the left side of the car with the dash cam. This is just bad, and I'm not surprised he got hurt, although now that I'm watching it and he has his hands in his pockets and he kind of throws himself up on the hood of this car, this is really suspicious to me. This feels like fraudy kind of situation. If I got this video, I don't know if I would accept this case. I think I would probably have to do some more digging and really talk to this injured guy, this pedestrian, because there were so many things that he did wrong here. Either way, a car always has the responsibility not to hit a pedestrian, but in a case like this, where a man kind of seems to throw himself in front of your car, I'm not sure there's much you can do, and I don't think I would take that case. Oh, okay. There are so many things wrong in this one. You can see in this video that the car that is traveling through the intersection goes through the intersection on a red light. So when they were at the stop bar, so the big white line on the ground right before the crosswalk, their light probably was yellow. I could go back and watch it, but I guarantee you that it was yellow turning to red. So they should have stopped, especially because it's rainy. Another thing that happens all the time in Florida, it takes a lot longer to stop when it's rainy. And so this person should have been going a lot more slowly through an intersection. The next thing that went wrong was the person who was turning left turned left through what was very likely a either flashing light or a yellow turning to red or a green turning to red. They should have paid attention for the person who was oncoming and stopped before they turned. There was just a whole bunch of nobody paying attention here. In Florida, this would be a really tough case because in Florida, we now have a comparative negligence statute that requires courts to make a determination if someone is 51% at fault or more, they don't get to recover. So it would be a difficult determination to see who in this case was at fault and who was not at fault, because both of these people are at fault. So hopefully no one was hurt and they just repaired their cars and went about their business. Oh, this is fraud. This is fraud. Yeah, fraud. Oh my gosh. Oh. Their heads hurt. I bet they do. Okay, this is really, really clearly insurance fraud. They tried to slam on the brakes. They pulled into the lane. I've seen this before with my own clients who were victims of this. I actually have a friend who was just a victim of this, of an insurance fraud. So this happens a lot. You have to be really careful about what you're doing. I think the driver with the dash cam, there's nothing that person could have done, because when they were following at an appropriate distance and these people pulled in front of them all of a sudden, they were able to stop. And then these people who were obviously committing a fraud backed up into them. And that's, I mean, who does that? You're on a highway going pretty fast. This is just definitely like clearly insurance fraud. And I don't think these people are going to recover, although it's great acting to act like their heads were hurt. That's what I would do too. So dash cam footage is obviously absolutely essential in a personal injury case. If it shows that you did nothing wrong and it shows the accident happening, it can make or break your case. These videos are inspiring me to put a dash cam in my own car. I think that a really important thing to remember is that you have to follow behind a car in an appropriate distance. In all of these cases, there were people who were traveling far enough behind the car in front of them that they avoided an accident for the most part. Obviously, the roads are dangerous. You've got to have uninsured motorist coverage that will protect you from people who are not insured. And it could also protect you from people who commit insurance fraud in a little bit more sophisticated method than the people in these videos did, because that happens all the time. So if you want to see more attorney reactions of people doing crazy things on the roads, like and subscribe. And if you are involved in any kind of accident like this, give me a call, Olivia Miller at Chabar Law.